Our people need to get the ID cards the same way the other people in the other regions within this country are getting the ID cards.
The Kikuyus and Mount Kenyans are our brothers and sisters. They are with us here. We are the same people.
Why did you opted them to give you a party to represent you if you see that they are refugees and they are not Kenyans?
You cannot police us. You cannot lecture us what to do and how to do.
The best that Kenyans can do, especially his people in Central, is to take him to Mathare Mental Hospital so that his brain can be checked.
First of all, we want to thank His Excellency President William Ruto's recent visit to Northeastern and his presidential proclamation of removing vetting for Northeastern residents seeking to acquire ID cards. Mr. President, we say thank you. We have been marginalized, and that is a step forward. Getting an ID card is an inalienable right, and the people of this region are very happy. The recent presidential directive has elicited some reaction from a section of Kenyans who thinks that they can police how the residents of Northeastern are going to acquire ID cards, especially politicians from Mount Kenya region. We are not the children of a lesser God. We are Muslims, we are Kenyans, and we are Somalis. We are not guests of anybody in this region. Our people need to get the ID cards the same way the other people in the other regions within this country are getting the ID cards. An ID card is an inalienable right. The utterances by the governor of Trans Nzoia, Governor Natembeya, is childish and very barbaric. We are telling him we are not Al-Shabaab. We are law-abiding citizens. We are Kenyans. It has become a national topic, both in the print media and also for politicians, in the churches, and even the priests and the bishops. We want to tell the priests and bishops in Mount Kenya, teach the word of God according to the Bible. Don't come and lecture us on how we are going to get ID cards. Our issue of getting ID cards should not be a subject to be discussed at funerals. Getting an ID card is anchored in the Constitution in three ways: by birth, by naturalization, and by registration. We are Kenyans by birth. So we want to tell the politicians from Mount Kenya, don't panic. We have been marginalized. We tolerated the regime of Jomo Kenyatta. We tolerated the extrajudicial killings of Uhuru Kenyatta. We have now been liberated by William Ruto. Our ID card should not give you stress. Kindly keep off. Thank you.
I think you're told we gathered here to make a press statement regarding the recent reckless utterances by certain politicians, namely one Governor Natembeya, Trans Nzoia Governor, Kalonzo Musyoka, and former DP Honorable Rigathi Gachagua. We want to say categorically that those statements are not of good health to the country which existed for 60 years of independence. I think it's enough for Somalis who live in northern Kenya. We have been marginalized for so long. And now that the president has proclaimed that the unnecessary vetting has been removed and we are supposed to acquire ID and passport as Kenyans do, we don't want any guest to lecture us in any funeral, in any charges, in any political gathering. I want to address Honorable Governor Natembeya. You don't deserve to be a governor, because wanasemaga uko na uraia mingi sana ndani ya ukurutu yako. You have first contested as an elective position as a governor. You have seen the office is so weighty that you opted to go on press statement every now and then. That shows that you don't qualify to be a governor. You don't seem to be someone who has the heart of Kenyans. If you served as in northern Kenya as a police officer, it is different from what you want to lecture us. If you have been given instructions and you have been given instructions to do what you have been doing in northern Kenya, this is a different northern region. So we are calling all Kenyans of good heart, of goodwill, that what the president has done is something rightful and is enshrined in the constitution. We are not guests of anybody. So anybody who is lecturing us on how we need to acquire, we are calling the presidential office, at least to make sure that what the president has proclaimed is implemented to the letter. Governors, pastors, Catholic churches who are lecturing us on how to acquire ID, that is not their role. This country needs factory setting. A governor of Trans Nzoia does not have any moral authority to lecture what the president has given us. So we are calling him, kindly stick your mandate as a governor for Trans Nzoia. Not a matter of, he is not a deputy president, he is not a minister. Who is he to lecture us? His roles and mandate are strictly confined to Trans Nzoia borders. So we are saying him, if you want to go and come and contest for governor, if you want to speak for people of northern Kenya, in Garissa or in Wajir or in Isiolo or in Marsabit or in Mandera or in Tana River. But anything that the president has done is what is rightfully for northern Kenya. Our people have suffered a lot, and we are telling him, please shun your divisive politics. We are calling Honorable Kalonzo. You are calling yourself a caliber of a president, and you want to engage in such kind of utterances. We have many Wiper MCAs. On my right, on my left hand is a member for Lebesigal who is on a Wiper ticket. We have a special elected on Wiper ticket. Why did you opted them to give you a party to represent you if you see that they are refugees and they are not Kenyans? So kindly think twice before you utter words, and you are saying yourself you are a presidential candidate. Honorable Rigathi Gachagua, tunajua ile chuki yako uko nayo. Sio sisi tumekutoa. It's the whole Kenyans. Blame the Parliament of Kenya, not Northern Kenya. So kindly embrace yourself as a raia mwema na ukae utawaliwe mzuri.
Assalamu alaikum, members of the press. I'm Honorable Muhammad Sheikh, MCA Lebesigal Ward. I was a civil servant, 15 years in the civil service, serving in the Ministry of Interior and Coordination of National Government, a Department of Registration of Persons, on the issuance of ID card. I served in a vetting area, Garissa County, and I also served in where we don't have vetting zones, especially Kitui County and Makueni County. I was in Chuso Sub-County for 3 years. Later on, went to Makindu Sub-County for 2 years and some months before I left and I joined the politics. So the essence why I'm talking about all this is because I know and understand the bureaucracy involved in vetting. What normally happens is, for planning purposes, it normally takes time before even we convene that vetting committee, because it requires like 15 to 20 people to be there, elders from villages, the chiefs, all the security departments, whether it is NIS, whether it is DMI, whether it is DCI, there are a lot of bureaucracies involved, and normally it takes 3 or to 6 months for one to acquire ID card in areas where we had vetting areas, especially in Northeastern. Unlike other zones, because I served other areas, it normally takes like a week or maximum 2 weeks for one to acquire ID card. And when I was serving in those regions, a person comes and brings either a father or a mother, one of the ID cards, to show that he's a Kenyan, and comes with a birth certificate, and we used to issue them. And we are the same people, and we are all Kenyans. So we knew that this was a problem, a huge problem, and this huge problem that we were facing was lifted by His Excellency the President Ruto. We appreciate his work, and we want to inform the other Kenyans that Kenya is one. Kenya is one. If there was people who are trying to suppress the other part of the country And now that the president understood and is trying to solve that matter and want to unite the whole country, they should not be see this as a problem. They should at least accept and make sure that we are all working on the same purpose. And to my party leader and His Excellency Kalonzo Musyoka, I was elected on a party ticket, and my community are asking me what happened to our party leader. What happened? Why is it that he's talking rough on matters of acquiring ID cards? These are the people who voted for him, and we don't know why his utterance is causing a lot of problem within the community. He should rescind that, and he should apologize to the people we are all serving. And to the deputy president, you served, and now you are out of office. The former deputy president, you are now out of office. The Kikuyus and Mount Kenyans are our brothers and sisters. They are with us here. We are the same people. We are doing the businesses together, and we will be united forever, and Kenya will be united forever. But these few politicians who are trying to cause mayhem and divisions even before the election, the scenario that's going on, if we check, it is now a replica of 2007. If you see the utterances that's coming from some of the politicians, if it will not be tamed on time, it might cause problem to this country. We wanted the security arms to be alert on this matter and to address this matter soon as time possible before it escalates.
Many have been said by my colleagues. Mine is to actually respond to what my name is Adam Duro, MCA Jarjara Ward, Balambala constituency. Many have been said by my colleagues. I would like to respond to what I've heard and seen Governor Natembeya saying about using as what Trump is doing in America, tightening the security of the borders and blah, 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 as an example. I would like to remind Governor Natembeya that however much Trump is trying to tighten their borders with other countries, that doesn't mean that the borderline communities in America are not subjected as a lesser Americans to those unlike to those in LA or in Washington DC. So I want to remind you, Governor Natembeya, however much we are borderline communities, we are Kenyans just like those in Trans Nzoia that you lead. So please, sometimes stick to your lanes, stick to the businesses or the whatsoever in Trans Nzoia, and you cannot police us, you cannot lecture us what to do and how to do our stuff. We are Kenyans just like any other. We are not sons of a lesser God, and we are not number 2 Kenyans. And if that is in your mind, then we are sorry. To our brother, the DP, and many Kikuyus that I have seen, former DP Gachagua, and many Kikuyus that I have seen talking about, Somalis, we know the pain is not about the vetting. The pain maybe is about the businesses and how we are competing. Competition is allowed.
Mine will be confined to this man called Gachagua. One question that I always like asking myself is, how the hell did we get somebody like Gachagua becoming the deputy president of the Republic of Kenya? That is the biggest mistake KK government has done. And I think the day he was being chosen in that room, Satan must have been present. And he must have seriously campaigned for somebody of the caliber of Gachagua to become DP. Because we ask ourselves a lot of questions. That man is mad, and Kenyans are listening to a madman. The best that Kenyans can do, especially his people in Central, is to take him to Mathare Mental Hospital so that his brain can be checked. That man is so dangerous that he seems to be walking around with a microscope that sees only Kikuyus and nobody else. He sees other Kenyans as viruses. I'm telling him Kenya belongs to all of us. We are not going to entertain his nonsense. We are Kenyans. We were born here. We have suffered under Kenyatta. Some of us, our fathers were political detainees. We have lost several years of our schooling. Okay, we have lost so much under Kibaki because of his political, economic suppression of the Somali community. We know what he has done in Central, and taking all the money there. We have suffered under Kenyatta because of killings and all that. We are not going to entertain any more nonsense from former DP Gachagua and his likes. Whatever they are telling us, we are telling them Kenya is bigger than you. The Somali community is now realizing that Kenya belongs to them. We are headed for the presidency in the next 20 years. And let me tell Central, if you listen to Gachagua, please know that 25 years from now, you will still be in the opposition. When Rift Valley finishes, we'll take this thing to Luoland. When Luoland finishes, we'll bring it to Northeastern.